What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? You are on the sidelines with the Sideline guys. And today, people, today, I'm joined by the podfather himself, my brother in arms, god damn it, for another special NFL edition of the Sideline guys. My guy, Derrick Myers. How's it going, brother?
All is well, bro. How you doing?
Doing great. Little shocked by the skin tones on you right now. I don't like the
Hey,
flesh colored shirts.
hey,
You got me
you know
acting
what,
up
bro?
over here. I'm about to
You know
start
what?
barking.
It's butterscotch, bro. I gotta make sure I bring in the flavor. That's all.
Hey, I respect it. Out here like one of those hard candies. It's just waiting for
Yeah.
the hose to suck
Pause.
on it. No pause. Just wait, just waiting for the hose to suck on it. But with all the pleasantries out the way, it's only right that we remind you guys where to find our wacky world of sports. God damn it.
Yes, sir.
OTS Media Co. on all social media platforms. Make sure that you're following. Make sure you're subscribed so that you get all of our fancy content streamlined right into your ear holes. But most importantly, Derrick, why don't you tell the people where they can find you, the founder of OTS?
Yes, sir. Well, you can follow me at Derrick underscore OTS. That's Derrick, the black way to spell it.
Hey, nothing makes me smile more than having my guy giggle by all the ways I'm just propping him up today on the show. But you could catch me on TikTok and Twitter at Negrong MMA, as well as Chris Negrong underscore on Instagram if you're into that. But
And soon
as
to
I
be
said,
Facebook.
oh man, yeah. Listen, I have a Facebook account that I made because I was like, I need to do this because we got the Facebook group, boom. And then I got locked out of the account. And I don't know if that's
Yo,
because of suspicious behavior. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if somebody was trying to hack into my account or not, but I'm in the process of recovering. And once I do, then I can be able to
that'd be
stop.
great. That'd be great, man. I had my Facebook account hacked one time, and that was by my ex. That was that was
Wow.
horrible.
We might be able to do a
Yeah.
whole show on just that, right? Like we
Y-
need a story time
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, I could tell it. I could tell it. I actually so I gave her my password
Fucked up
stuff.
already. Yeah, you
That was
fucked up.
that was yeah. It was a first relationship, you kind of not thinking. So I
Yeah,
gave her this
you were
stuff.
primed to be abused. You were like,
I
yes,
was.
please
I was.
abuse me.
I didn't help myself in any situation. She told me that her parents I think had were trying to follow me or something like that. And so she's like, "Give me your phone so I can whatever." And so I'm like, "Whatever." So I gave her my phone. She went and put some email address that she created onto the account. And then we broke up soon after that. I go change my information, all that stuff, not thinking anything of it. I had unfriended her and all that stuff on Facebook. I go to scroll one day and I see her stuff popping up on my timeline. And she had said something about like says something to the effect of you thought you were getting away or something like that. Said
Yo.
I said, wait, whoa, what the hell? This is coincidental. I'm thinking, okay, Facebook is spazzing out. I go unfollow her another again. Pops up again, like later that day. She said, you thought.
That's fucking crazy. What is the goal
Bro,
in that scenario? Like
I don't know.
she wasn't harassing. She wasn't, messaging people on your behalf. No.
No.
I'm just gonna refollow myself so you're forced to
Yes.
watch me be
Yes.
happy. These hoes, man, they be trifling.
Bruh.
I will admit.
I was I was slick impressed by it, but then when I realized what had took place, I went ahead because I was changing my password and she was getting the new password
Oof.
every time I was changing it. So yeah, I just yeah, that
Yep.
was I was into that. So yeah, man, I
Sheesh.
understand.
God damn. Dude, I this is more exciting than anything we could have talked about today. I just gotta say,
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy, dude. I'm glad you got your account back. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure I do the
Yeah.
same. Who knows?
Yes.
Maybe my ex is in my shit
It
too,
might
and
be
I
it,
don't even know.
bro. You never know, bro. It might be your ex. And her parents worked for Google. So it was one of those things where I was, yeah, I didn't put two and two together until later that in that week.
God damn. I was waiting for your punchline to be, and then she announced our relationship on Facebook. And I'm like, yeah. So you tried that hard to keep her away. Damn.
Nah, she just wanted to mess with me for no reason.
Yeah, no end game either, right? Like
No end
no,
game.
she didn't
No.
really troll you. She didn't
She
really,
had no plan from what I understand. She had no
that's so
plan.
weird. Hey, I'm
It
sure
was it
that's a
was a very
fucking
weird situation.
felony. I'm just saying, I'm sure that's a fucking felony. But anyway,
I'm sure.
anyway.
I'm sure.
They always have their ways. But with all of these fun things laid out on the table, god damn it, we've got a week to look back at. Obviously, Super Wild Card Weekend, and then some games to look forward to tomorrow. So we're coming at you
Sir.
fast and furious here. Really excited to talk the divisional round, but of course, it's only right that we return to our roots. We'll kind of fire these off quick, just give our thoughts and move on. But Browns Texans, man. My favorite standout moment of this entire affair was when, unfortunately, one of my favorite players ever, Joe Flacco, just got absolutely destroyed. And then somehow the defender spinneroonies on top of his lifeless body in one of the funniest afterplay moments I could recall, man. Just such a weird
Yeah.
play, but really also kind of defined the ass whipping that the Texans put on the Browns there.
Yeah, yeah, and I remember seeing that video, and someone said you thought Madden wasn't real. That was an amazing thing, man. I'm happy for the Texans. You know, we did say that we thought it was very possible they could win that game, but we were leaning more so to the side of experience in that one, and with Joe Flacco. Yeah, man, I'm happy for him. Looking forward to see what they do this week.
I love it. I would take no other options. All I gotta say, man, and we know how much of a dog that CJ Stroud is. I think he's even better than we thought, man. This guy is
Yeah.
next level, and Nico Collins as well. Slept on, someone that I have on
Yes.
one of my dynasty teams, and I'm trying to get on the other one too,
Congratulations.
because that dude really broke out big time this year, but especially now with this playoff push, man. This guy is just, he's got number one receiver written all over him, man.
Most definitely. Let me ask you this though. Are those two players you think you might be looking into for fantasy next year?
Ooh, they're both going to be a lot more expensive. I think you're going to get,
Yeah.
you might actually get Tank Dell cheaper now just
Mm-hmm.
because of this last sort of season, late season resurgence. So that might be something to be more prioritizing of. But I won't be surprised if he's going top five in the QB discussion this
Yeah.
upcoming fantasy season, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. And Nico Collins, flex option. I mean, he's a really good player. So I'm looking forward to seeing them next year because I think what the Texans can do is going to be very interesting next season. They're going to be some. Do you think that they might actually be a team that or a destination that free agents might look into and take
It's a great
seriously now?
question, man. I think especially now, 100%. We talked a little bit about their running game last week and how we want to see that improved upon. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely think they're going to be a more attractive destination, but most importantly, I feel like they're going to be a place where, moving forward, right? They changed their whole fortunes just in a matter of a season. Like that, it's very
Yeah.
rare to happen like that in either direction, right? Where someone either goes from
Mm-hmm.
the top to the bottom or from the bottom towards the top. But
Mm-hmm.
man, we talked a little bit. I don't know if you remember this last season about the
Mm-hmm.
Texans defense and how their defensive
Yes.
ends are really good and could really like put a lot of pressure. And then they only added to that, adding Stingley and Will Anderson. And there's just so many good guys on that defense that really does their damn part. So all they need, it
Hey.
seems like, is a couple offensive weapons, and they're right there.
Yeah, and former Eagle Derek Barnett is over there balling too. What the hell happened, bro? Like,
Dude,
he
the
could
way
just.
between the
What is
pass
going on?
rush and the way that they're not seeking specifically to like get one guy off the edge for 20 sacks. Like all of these guys
Yeah.
are finding their way to the quarterback and sort of just fucking denting the line. Like you love to
Yeah.
see pass rushes like that because you never know where it's coming from. It's not something that you could really scheme for. You just got to be
Right.
ready for all those guys, man. And there's not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
lines out there. that can do that. But impressed with the Texans for sure, but they're gonna have to prove it. God damn it, we'll get into that one later too. But
Yes, sir.
I will remind the people, man. I said it last week, and I still feel the same way. Just a little teaser here. I would have much rather have been playing the Browns than playing the Texans this week. I will say that loud and
Yes.
proud.
Yes.
But if you don't got anything on that one, we can move on. Do you have anything for us, Derek, before we?
Nothing much. Nothing
All right.
else.
Yeah, fuck the Browns. Next up,
Yeah.
Dolphins, Chiefs in the frigid cold. I'll let you take the reins on this one. Were you impressed with the Chiefs' drubbing of the Dolphins?
I think that they. I mean, I figured they were going to win this game. That temperature out there, that weather was crazy, right? But I think they kind of started feeling themselves and getting back to them to who what their identity actually is. Um, yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed by what they did. It's yet to see what's going to end up happening this week, but I think that it's going to actually be. I think they found something they can build on. I'll put it like that because I think one of the aspects about this team that I don't think a lot of people have really paid attention to is the departure of Eric Bieniemy and like how that offense has been able to um, get to a semblance of what we realize and what we've remembered them to be. And I think that this to me kind of like felt like the first game may have been weather impacted, but this seemed to be like the first game I can think about where they actually seem to be closer to what they used to be. This season they haven't been that at all. So we'll see if they can carry that on. But I mean, yeah. Am I impressed? Yeah. Yeah. A little bit.
You snatched the vibes right out of my soul right here because what I was so surprised by is like yes, the Chiefs figured out what they need to do on offense, yes. But what's really cool about it is they actually learn from their mistakes, right? There's a lot of these teams that don't learn from their mistakes. They're not trying to force a square peg in a round hole anymore. They're
Hmm.
understanding we don't got it like we used to, right? It's time to run
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
ball. And Isaiah
Yeah.
Pacheco is just a goddamn cartoon character out there, man. I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
there's a more angry runner right in the league. Just the
Nah.
way that dude moves is so expressive, man. That guy
Yeah.
is hilarious, and I will be staunch supporter of his for the rest of his career because that guy won me a championship this year. God damn it.
Hey man.
But I just really, like you said, man, huge adaptations on offense, but the smart ones, right? They're not out here
Hmm.
just trying to throw 40 passes anymore. In that little losing skid before the end of the season, it felt like they were still convinced that they were that team, and really
Hmm.
cool to see them take their lessons and really put them into practice and cruise right against a team that should have been able to offer more. Now it's time to
Yeah.
talk about how weird that was from the Dolphins, right? We agree the Chiefs defense is elite, right? And probably one of the best units that we have still remaining. But
Hmm.
I didn't think they were going to be able to shut down the Dolphins like that, man. How do you sort of reconcile the season as a Dolphins fan?
Um, I think right now you're just thinking of based like what you saw last week was more so predicated upon the injuries. Because I really don't think that there's anything else you could say. I mean, they when your defense loses that many players to injury, I think that you have to take that into consideration. That's not who they've been all season, right? Um, I'm intrigued to
Doesn't
see what they
explain the
do.
offense though. Does not
It doesn't
explain what.
it doesn't explain the offense at all. That weather is probably what you would probably hang your hat on for the offense mainly, but it's gonna be intriguing to see what happens for them in the offseason. I think it I know the question is going to come up all off season, um, as to whether Tua is the guy. I don't know. I don't know if that's fair, to be honest. I think that if I were the Dolphins, I would make sure I get an extremely great backup QB that's used to the cold weather. I think that might be a good move for them because if you I've read something earlier today, I think yesterday, that said that they're like 0-14 or something like that in cold weather, or on like in weather of like, was like lower than 14 degrees or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, it was somewhere in that range. It was like just, but that cold weather is just not good for Miami. I think that might be something they might want to look into, um, and invest in that running game, because if you have a QB that can throw, and you have a good running game, that's going to help you in the cold, right? So I would go that route. I think you stick with Tua though. Stick with Tua. There's no need to move on from him.
Yeah, and it's so weird because I feel like they have a lot of things figured out as far as the players that they want to keep on that run game. So like what was it? Like I,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like the easiest thing to blame would be the offensive line. Obviously they got to Tua a lot and caused a lot of turnovers on downs, not necessarily with him being Tua turning the ball all over. So I'm sorry about that one last week. It was a low blow, but it didn't turn out to be who you are, brother. But
Mm-hmm.
I do think there are some questions to be answered as a whole, right? Like
Yeah.
um, collapsing like that at the end of the season, it's understandable, like you said, as far as the defensive part of the ball. But even in the last 2 weeks, where the reason why you got to where you was because of what you were doing on offense always, right? No matter what.
Right. Right.
So to see it
Right.
against the Bills and then in the playoffs where they just kind of disappear, man, it obviously is a terrible place to be. I've been there before with my Ravens team, so I
Mm-hmm.
understand it. I know what it looks like. Um, Interested to see how they show up next season because they almost had that division, man. It was theirs all year.
Oh
And they
yeah.
just lost it. And who knows how big of a difference that made on that night. But time will tell whether or not the Dolphins are in the place that they want to be because I'm not sure they are. But next up, Steelers Bills. This game was the meme game. Shout out to my guy Lewis. I was texting him all week, man. Let's go fucking Steelers, right? Because I wanted that draft pick to go as low as
Yeah.
possible. But of
Yeah.
course, Bills got the job done. I just got to say, it really sucks for the Bills the amount of defensive players that went down in this one. I think that's going
Yeah.
to be a huge thing to consider as we look forward to next week. But this Bills offense is really fun to watch too, man. Seeing between
Mm-hmm.
the Chiefs and the Bills sort of reinvigorate their offense by focusing on the run game has been a treat in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it has been, and I think that they did have a lot of players that went down, but I think the Bills, honestly, one thing that I love about them this season is that they actually figured out the balance between their run and passing game, because that was the biggest gripe that we had for them for the last couple of years, is that they're not running the ball as much as we want them to, right? And I think they kind of got to a place where they figured that balance out for them, which was really good to see. I'm happy for them, because I think that actually unlocks Josh Allen even more, right? So I mean, we'll see. I think that's a great team. That's a great team. I love that team.
Yeah, I agree. And James Cook is a dog too, so give that guy some
He is.
damn love because I'm trying to trade for him in Dynasty, man. I ain't trying to give up what he's asking for, but I'm trying to get him because it looks like
Hey,
they're figuring out how to use him.
yeah, and they get Naeem Hines back next season. So that's gonna make that team look even more dynamic. So I'm excited to see what that run game looks like for them for sure.
Hey, that's a great name. Shout out to Naeem Hines. Good luck with your recovery. Next up, I think our favorite, right? Our favorite game of the week. We could be honest here. Packers Cowboys, a game that we both accurately called, and I said it to you
Yeah.
earlier, but I'll say it again. No matter how much I knew it was gonna happen, and no matter how much I was telling everyone that would listen it was gonna happen, it still didn't feel right. Like it still didn't feel normal, right? It still didn't. I
Hmm.
was watching it like, man, this is so fucking strange. Like, what's going on here? And I really don't have an answer. And I think it's kind of hilarious that we already have been assured that no, 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 my uncle Mike McCarthy is staying put in Dallas, and I don't fucking understand why. I don't know how you could be in this same scenario, come into Dallas with the reputation that you don't get done in the playoffs. You shit the bed twice in a row, but
Yeah.
this time way worse than last year, and still we're keeping him, man. Just a comedy of errors, got to feel like for the Cowboys.
Hey man, I love it. As an Eagles fan, I love it. I was so excited when they announced that he was staying. It's this weird thing that um Jerry Jones does, and I think that we've said this before. They're never going to be able to have success with him running things. So this is their ceiling. This is literally where they hang. That's it. That's it. I don't know what it is about Jerry that he just doesn't know how to get out of his own way. But wouldn't it make sense to go get someone that can take them further? Wouldn't it make sense to stop being the GM and actually relinquish control of that and give it to someone that knows what they're doing? What that just makes sense. I think Jerry just doesn't like to do what makes sense. That's just it. That's just it. Hey, I'm happy for them. This is what they wanted. I'm happy for them. I'm
It is what they
excited.
want.
This is exactly what they want. They got what they wanted, and hey, I just someone I saw this on Twitter the other day and asked like how this is right after the game happened. It's like how long before the Cowboys fans start to get over this loss and start saying they're going to the Super Bowl next year? And I said midnight. Like they're going to they're
So
the
true.
amount of delusion that this team and fan base has is unmatched. They're going to the Super Bowl, right? It they're, everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. Jerry's talking about how this team resembles the championship teams in the 90s and stuff like that. We're at 29 years.
Hmm. Hey,
29 years.
just wait till our Diggs brother gets back. I'm sure that's what they're thinking, right? Just wait till Diggs gets
Yes,
back. We'll be
yes,
good.
yes.
We'll be
I got
good.
nothing to do with anything, bro.
Yeah.
That has got nothing to do with anything. The Packers have won more playoff games in that stadium than the Cowboys have.
That's a fucking insane stat.
Isn't that
And
hilarious?
let's get to this game, right? Because I can't even, once again, I still can't believe that this is what we watched, right? Because yes, if
Right.
you look at the score, right, when it's all said and done, you could from the outside looking in be like, hey, that was a close game. This was a game that was not in doubt the entire fucking time. They didn't
At
start
all.
coming back until it was absolute garbage time, where literally Packer starters were not on the field,
Yeah.
literally. Um, and to lose to the seventh seed, not just okay, we lost, it was a tough one, we'll see you next year, to get absolutely
Mhm.
fucking dog walked from the beginning of the game. They elected to receive the kick, went down and scored, and never gave up that lead the entire time. Just the ultimate disrespect. I think ultimately, this says a lot more about the Cowboys than it does about the Packers, right? I know a lot of people looking at
Yes.
their matchup this week like, hey, man, might fuck around and do it again. And given how good and reliable their defense has been this entire season, something I remember talking to you about at the beginning of the year as well.
Hmm.
I still think what they were able to do offensively is phenomenal and something that they're going to continue to build on. But there's no way that team has the right weapons to win against the Cowboys, but somehow they did it. God damn it!
Hey man. Hey, look, and I told you, Jordan Love is the guy.
Like
I have
Jesus!
I
Oh Lord! This back shoulder. That dude is legit. And I was talking shit all year. One of my cousins, who's a Packers fan, it's in my fantasy league, just wouldn't shut the fuck up about Jordan Love all year, right? Like before the season started, even he's like, I got a dog on my team. Y'all don't even know. And he made it to the finals, right? With him as his QB too. So I can't talk too
Wow.
much shit. But earlier on in those first couple weeks, man, I'm like, this dude is dog water. And as the season progressed, you could definitely see the maturity and poise was always there from the start. But
Yeah.
once his line really got behind him and he got the running game going in tandem, you could really see the special things he could do with his arm. That man could put the ball anywhere on the field, which is fun to watch, man. A lot of
Yeah.
these, a lot of these young QBs just flourishing in their systems, which you love to see.
You love
But
seeing
I'm
that.
just happy. I'm just happy that he is being embraced as well as a starter, and that people are starting to see the truth, right? Because that guy giving something to feel the love for, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's good to see. It's good to see.
Yeah, and it also just makes me happy because another reason to laugh at Aaron Rodgers. But next up,
Yeah.
Rams Lions. This one was fun, very
Yeah.
very fun. Shout out to the Rams, made it very very close, almost came away with it, right?
Yeah.
This was probably my game of the week, week one.
Hmm.
So many back and forth moments, and really felt like a heavyweight title fight. Right, we're just trying to see who's going to be there at the end. And the Lions really did prove something, if you ask me. I thought they looked like they couldn't stop shit in the past game, but
Yeah.
as a whole, I think slowing down Kyron Williams is a huge plus. And then most importantly, right, just being able to make the big plays when you need them. I'm on Ross St. Brown is that guy. It is egregious
Yeah.
that he did not get selected to the Pro Bowl because, man, clearly he is deserving of that all pro spot that he got. The man is just underrated because so many people are like, oh, well, they just pass him the ball all the time. And I'm like, yeah, if you really feel that way, you don't watch this fucking team because guys like
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds, guys like Jameer Gibbs, they take up so much of those targets. And yet and
Hmm.
still, man, Amon Ra finds a way to break out and just put up fucking numbers every week.
Yeah, and don't forget, Williams came back from injury. Like I think they
And
have a
came into his own too, right?
and came
Yeah,
into his
because
own. Yeah, I think they have a really good team there. Um, they're fun to watch. They're not a fluke. that, that is not a fluky team right there, man. I was actually sitting here watching the which we'll get into in a second, but I was watching the Eagles Bucks game, and I was like, "There's no way the Eagles are going to be able to beat the Lions. There's just no way they're going to be able to do it if they win this game because the way they run the ball, the way they spread their offense around, they're really good. They're really good, and I think that Jared Goff has come into his own as well. Like he I think he kind of it took a minute, but he became what we expected him to become from when he got drafted, right? And this to seeing his connection with Reynolds and everything like that, I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Honestly, I think that's a really good team. Their defense is phenomenal. There's nothing you can say about the Detroit Lions right now. I almost feel like someone in that state decided to sacrifice the Pistons for the Lions and the Michigan Wolverines as well. I think they sacrificed the Pistons gladly because there's no way
something's got
these
to
teams
give, baby.
something's got to give, and they said the Pistons got it.
Take them.
And you take them, yeah, yeah. Hey, man, that may have been a good pick for them.
Yeah, man. You got to feel happy for them too, right?
Yeah,
They got my guy Eminem out there hyping up everybody, looking forward to the game, and just to feel the culture. Right, this was the moment that the Cowboys were waiting for, but damn it,
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
get it.
It is. It is. That's funny. It is. A quick thing is a random thing. When is Eminem going to get a new hat?
Oh man, when you're that rich, bro, fuck
I'm
it,
so
bro.
tired of that hat,
I'm
bro.
showing
Like
up.
that's
I'm showing up with that dingy ass fucking. You could tell he bought it at a gas stop somewhere along the
yeah,
way. It's you can't. It's not quite a six panel, not quite a four. Like
yeah.
yeah,
It's just
got a
there.
lot of weird shit going on up there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nah, but shout out to the Lions, man. I love seeing what they've got going on out there.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Lions. Good luck, good fortunes. We will talk about them again later, but don't let it be lost, man. The Rams are fucking for real too, and I think there's a
No, they
lot
are
of teams. There's a lot of teams that are still playing this week that the Rams would have beat, right, if they played
for
them.
sure, for sure.
So,
And
really,
Aaron
really
Donald isn't
excited for their
retiring, right?
future. Nope, nope, nope. Why
I
would he
don't think
now?
so either.
He's like,
I
hold on.
yeah,
We
you're
got some
right.
dogs in this bitch. Hold on.
We got something.
And quite
Yeah,
literally out
man.
of nowhere, man. He got a lot of
Yeah,
help too on the line with young pass
he did.
rushers this year. So yeah, man, they it feels like they hit on every damn draft pick this last year.
They did. They did. They're going to be a team that you really have to respect next year because they figured it out early on. It looked bad for them.
Yeah.
It did look bad from early on. So they have to. I think they're going to fill in a few key spots, but they're doing a good job with it, man.
Hmm.
Mm. Okay, would you try to draft a QB this year if you're the Rams?
Well,
Get
they already
someone
have.
to
They already
learn.
have. My goat Stetson Bennett is already a part of the
Oh
team,
yeah,
brother.
I
I don't know
forgot
what
about
you're
that.
talking about. But I think if they get the chance, they might want to bring someone else in. I mean, shout out to
Yeah.
Matt Stafford, just another fucking dog amongst dogs. That play was pretty fucking egregious where he appeared to have gone out. I don't know what's
Hmm.
going on with the sideline and whether we're checking into those situations because just off of the optics of it, I thought he was definitely not going to be coming back in, and then he's just in there slinging that bitch. So
Yeah.
once again, testament to what he's able to do, right? Because I feel like some people, even during the Super Bowl run, was kind of questioning him and what he's capable of, and obviously had the setback year last year, and everyone's pinching for retirement. Man, I think he's gonna be around for at least another 5 years, and uh, he, man, Sean McVay. Everyone talks, kind of felt like he was the butt of the jokes last year, as far as like, hey man, you shit the bed now, but I think he's one of the greatest modern day coaches that doesn't really get the kind of respect he deserves. Because if you think
Yeah.
about since when Jared Goff was here, the ways this team has shifted the way they get it done year after year, and still find themselves in these scenarios. Clearly, they got a good guy at the helm that's making it all work. So, looking forward to what the Rams got to do next season for sure.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Me too.
All right, brother. Well, we got to get into the exciting stuff now. All right. I know you're all looking forward to the divisional round. And we thought it would be pretty fun if we started our talk, right? Started our analysis of our divisional round by coming up with a little mock fantasy draft, right? A little as if we're doing a 1 week fantasy tournament just with the players from this divisional round, and not even thinking necessarily, next week we're going to have them. So we got to get certain guys that we think are going to stick around. No, this is just for this week, which makes it a very interesting exercise, right? You got to think not only who you want, but who's going to do well in this scenario, which adds another little wrinkle there. So, our fantasy draft, I flipped the coin in the back. I made sure Derrick didn't get to see, but somehow I ended up with the first pick. So as I scan the board, right, as I'm looking around, I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna go with this one. There's a lot of different ways that I could go with this first pick, but I'm going a little bit of an underrated route. I'm going a little bit of a damn. That's really your first pick. Um, give me one Stephon Diggs. Personally,
Oh,
I think he is the
okay.
best receiver that is left in the field. So give me Stephon Diggs. And I'm looking for him to have a
Oh,
great week this week against the Chiefs if this is going to work out for me. But just like that, Derek, you're on the snide for 2 picks in a row. So whenever you're ready,
yes, sir. All right. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey.
that's fine.
Um,
Glassy,
huh?
Christian McGlassy.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Hey, looks pretty
Yeah.
solid this year.
Yeah, yeah, no, he does. He does. All right, going Christian, and then I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna get Mahomes.
Look at that, Patty Mahomes.
Yes, sir.
You love to see it. Honestly, regretting some things already, but it's okay. I'm gonna go with. Hey, I'm not gonna pick my QB because you already got yours, right? So I don't need to think about that at all. Why don't we go a little bit of a different route, right? We already we're considering all the different guys that we have available, and I think once again, situation is king here. So you're probably gonna cut my ass, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll let it out anyway. Give me one James Cook and and
Okay.
um the other wide receiver that I think is poised to have a huge week this week, Mike Evans.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes, sir. You're up
All
again
right.
with your third and fourth pick whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to go I'm on Saint was
Oh
I'm
fuck!
on
How did I
I'm on
forget about this?
Saint Brown, bro.
Shit! Should have been my first pick.
You
Fuck.
should have been your
Okay.
first pick, man. That's why I was shocked you said Diggs, but
All right.
yeah, I'm gonna go with him. And let me see. I'm going to take I'm gonna take Kelsey.
Hmm. I like that. Kind of forgot about Kelsey and his spot in all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. I feel like I lost this exercise already, but it's okay. My next two picks are. Um, hey, can you give me the jingle? God damn it! Well, how does it go again?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Come on, son. Um, with my with my fourth and fifth pick, this is where things get interesting. I'm going to be going with one Lamar Jackson, of course. Very excited about that. Um, and then I already got my two receivers. Um, I think it's only right that we go this route. Give me the Niners defense. God damn it.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. All right. I am going to go
So I have the memory of a goldfish. You picked Amon-Ra St. Brown and who?
uh
Sorry.
Travis Kelsey.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in.
So
It is
let me
in.
see how many receivers I have left. One? Is it two
Yes.
receivers, two
So
running backs?
you've got a yep. So you got a running back, you've got a quarterback, and you've got a receiver and a tight end.
All
And
right,
this
I'm
is
going
only just so you know, this is only your fifth pick.
fifth. Okay, but I'm going to go Aaron Jones.
Okay.
And
Look at that.
let's see.
Aaron.
Aaron, yes, sir. And then you know what? I think I might take a flyer on this one. Let me go Zay Flowers
I don't think you could do that, brother.
as a receiver?
Wait. So is it seven then? Yeah, we need seven picks in order to get two,
Seven.
one
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
one. Okay, yeah, I did. I fucked up the math, of course, because
Okay. Okay.
why would I do anything correctly? Um, so so you've got Aaron Jones. We're gonna go snake on these last couple picks. So hold off on that next one. Sorry about that.
Yeah. You good.
So
You
your
good.
fifth pick is Aaron Jones. My sixth pick. Give me my second running back. Um, hey, this one's a little strange. This one is a little strange. Give me Isaiah Pacheco.
Ooh.
Because I almost went David Montgomery, but the load share there makes me a little nervous.
Ooh.
So with your sixth pick, are you still going with Zay Flowers?
Let me get Zay Flowers. Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So then this is my seventh pick, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to be picking. So let's figure that out together, brother. So I already have my QB. I already have two running backs. I already have two receivers, and I already have a defense. So what the fuck am I missing?
Tight end.
Yes, that's what I'm missing. Um, that's a fun one. I think honestly, bro, I was this close to picking Isaiah Likely, and I love him. Okay,
Ooh.
I do love him.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with someone that's being underlooked this week. Give me young Greg Kittle.
Ah. George Kittle.
Hey, I'm calling him Greg, brother.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
It's a bit. Yeah, it's a bit. It's a bit for
Okay.
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
that one
Okay.
was intentional. Yeah, all the other
Okay.
fuck
Okay.
ups,
Okay. Okay.
completely not. This one, we're fucking riding with, baby.
All right.
Okay,
All
so you
right.
got your last pick. Who you going with on the defensive side of
On
things?
defense, I'm going to take the Chiefs defense.
Wow, this
Yeah.
is fun. This is fun,
Yeah.
dude.
Yes, sir.
Chiefs defense. Okay. And I think it's only right that when we look at this next week, that we try to figure out who would have won, right, in this matchup.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yes,
gonna I'm
sir.
gonna look into that as well as I can to try to see who's gonna win our divisional round fantasy sweepstakes. God damn it! But I'm liking the
Yes,
team, so
sir.
let me read them off once
Yes.
again. So we'll go with my squad first, and then we'll go with yours. So I've got Stefan Diggs, James Cook, Mike Evans, Travis Kelsey, Lamar. Oh, excuse me. Mike Evans, Lamar Jackson, the Niners defense, Greg Kittle, and Isaiah Pacheco, while Derrick has Christian McCaffrey, Patrick Mahomes, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Travis Kelsey. Shit, I'm losing. Um, Aaron Jones with your fifth pick, Zay Flowers, and of course the Chiefs defense. So I think we did well, man. I think there's some
Yeah.
sleepers still that are on the board, right? I'm looking at you,
Yeah.
Montgomery.
Sam
Um,
Laporta.
yes, yes. Sucks that we
Yeah.
couldn't get a flex or something going in there. But
Yes,
it's
sir.
okay. We figured it out. Good luck to you, my friend, and we'll see who wins next week. Because last week we both went 3-3 on our picks, right? So
Yes.
hopefully we don't have another tie like that. But if we do, this will be our tiebreaker. God damn it! So
That'd be
we will
great.
see who wins the day next weekend. But just like that, it's time to get into the games, baby. Our Saturday window, Texans at the Ravens. I've already showed my hand here a little bit. And I'm ready to go off on a fucking rant. So you know what that means, Derek. I'm gonna
Yeah.
force you to go first. I want to hear your
Yes,
fresh
sir.
takes. I want to see how you feel about this matchup before I taint you with my obvious homerism.
Ah man, Ravens. I think that this is going to be a very fun game, to be completely honest. Um, and honestly, I think this might actually be closer than people might think. But I'm going the Ravens on this one. I think that Baltimore, to be honest, bro, and it's gonna probably spoil my pick at this point. I think this is y'all's year.
Hmm.
I'm starting. I really believe this is it. Because I think you have all the pieces in place that you need to make that run. Um, honestly, if this was any other year, I would actually probably go with the Texans on this one. But I think this year is something different going on in Baltimore, and I think it's that time for y'all to take that step. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens on this one. I'm gonna go with the
Whew.
Ravens on this one. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a fun game. But I think at the end of the day, the Ravens pull it off and move on.
Damn, dude. Honestly, bro, I love to hear this coming from you. It validates me in many ways, but it also does really hit on a lot of the points that I was gonna make. So even when I let you go first, god damn it, you're still stealing my thunder, Derek. But I love
I
it because we're
apologize.
seeing things once again. Great minds we tend to think alike, and we are seeing some
Yes, sir.
very interesting narratives here. I think the forefront topic of conversation has been Lamar's history in the playoffs and whether or not we're going to be able to come out strong in this one. I'm not going to lie to you. This may be a hot take. Say what you want. Um, this is my Super Bowl right here. And I know it's easy to say
Mm.
that, right? When you're in the playoffs, right? Every game is your Super Bowl, technically. But
Yeah.
this is my Super Bowl here. We need to show who the fuck we are yesterday because, as I said, this Texans team is a way more difficult matchup than the Browns, and I'm honestly very worried about it. I looked at the lines, right? We're a -9 point favorite.
Ooh.
I did I definitely agree with you on that one. There's no way, in my opinion, that we deserve to be that big of a favorite, a 9 point favorite against the Texans. I think it's going to be a one score game. I think our defense is really going to get to Shroud, but I also do think that the Texans defense is also going to get to Lamar. I think this is going to be a good old gritty grime fest. And
Yeah.
let's be real, man. The Texans have the weapons to stay in a battle like that, right? This is going to
Oh yeah.
be
Yeah.
trench warfare for sure. I think this game really obviously hinges on whether or not our run games on both sides of the ball could establish themselves early. I think specifically with us, if we can keep CJ off the field for as long as possible, that's ideal, right? We could run up the clock, still get points, and send our defense out there fresh and ready to go. I think that's the dream. But I feel like this is going to be a hard game, man. I'm concerned. I am nervous. I've got the butterflies. I've got the shivers. I'm nervous, bro. This is a
Yeah. Yeah.
very important game in a season where I agree with you. I think this is our best chance at a Super Bowl ever since the last one we've had. This is the
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah.
better team than our last Super Bowl team. And
Hmm.
to have all of our defense back healthy, I'm just so scared about this bye week thing, man. You would think, hey, we got the first round bye. We're chilling. We get to
Yeah.
play at home for the playoffs. But no, this really has me worried, man, because obviously it's good to have your guys healthy. But I think it's really important, right? Ask the fucking Cowboys to be in a rhythm, to be in a place where you feel comfortable. And I think we're gonna get that answer early, man. I think if we shit the bed early, right? If they get out to a lead like the Packers did, it's gonna be a long night, bro. And I'm really
Yes.
scared. Like I'm really worried about that. But I think all things considered, if we could come out humming early on offense, I think the rest of the game will sort of take care of itself. And if we're performing the way we have been down the stretch on offense specifically, this can end up being a sort of shootout game, right? Where it
Yeah.
really depends on whose defense can you lean on more. And I still take our defense in that scenario. So I said a lot. I know I have. There's no way I'm going against my fucking Ravens. I just got to make that clear. But
Yeah.
this is scary hours, bro. I'm nervous. I think I'm
Yes.
gonna do one of your bits. I'm gonna go dark, right? I'm gonna go full Aaron Rodgers. I'm not gonna respond to anyone. I'm gonna be just fully locked in with the blinders because there's going to be a lot of ebbs and flows to this game, and you just got to survive through it, right?
Yeah, man. And I'm be honest. Uh, if you guys lose this game, I know you're going to react the way I didn't react last week. Last week, I was actually excited. I was excited for the Eagles to lose that game. This week, if you guys lose, I know how that's gonna feel. I'm not gonna troll you. Just so you know, I wouldn't do that to you. I don't like when people do that to me. So I'm a the
Thank
only
you, bro.
reason the only way I do it, I troll the team. I don't troll the fans that I know. Now, I indirectly will by what I say, but it's nothing
Thanks,
directly at you. You know,
thanks. I'm not gonna shit on you, but I will, and I hope you take it personal. Like, damn, Derrick, fuck.
oh, nah, nah, you guys should win this game, bro. And I think that this is honestly one of the best rosters that you guys had in a very long time. This is a really good team of all phases of the game. So you should win. But it's definitely not going to be an easy game to
Yeah,
win. It's not going to be an easy one. This is definitely a one score game, which I think speaks highly to how D'Amico Ryan's is preparing his guys. I think honestly, the Texans found a coach that they're going to have for years. This might be one of those. I can see him being one of those coaches that's like a
like
Bill
Harbaugh,
Belichick level.
like
Oh,
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh, yeah,
Post it
that's
up.
just there. That's just there for
Mm,
years. I could see that happening here. So, this is going to be a matchup I think we see for a couple of years. Honestly, the same way that Mahomes said that against the Bills with Josh Allen I think it was like a year or two ago. He said that we're going to have many more of these matchups. I think that's exactly what we're going to see with the Ravens and Texans. This is going to be one we look back on and we admire the game because they're both teams are just amazing. So I'm looking for this. To me, this is the game of the week. I forget the Bills and Chiefs. This is the game of the week for me. I I
mm,
I, I like what I'm going to see with this one. I think
dude.
I'm anticipating a big one with this one.
And I'm just so
Pause.
happy that you said it, right? Because I could say all these things and everyone's gonna roll their eyes. They're like, yeah, of course you're
Yeah.
fucking excited for this one. But yeah, and like you said, it speaks to the powers of both teams. This does not feel like 49ers Packers, where we're like, hey man, call in the fucking guys. We'll see you next week in San Francisco. Uh,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is this is a very close match, and I think it's once again all three phases of the ball. Man, these are complete teams that find ways to really lift up the guy next to them and put themselves in a good position every play. So it's gonna make for a battle. It's gonna make for a tough one. But goddamn, we built Raven tough, baby. I'm fucking hype if you can't tell already. But I do got to say this though. I think the key to this game, obviously the run game is always the key to our success, but the key to this game is turnovers. I don't care
Yes.
if we get
Yeah.
if we're forced to punt a couple times. I'm not worried about that. It's if we end up in live scenarios where the ball is turned over more regularly than we do to the other team, I'll
Hmm.
say this with confidence. If we lose the turnover battle by one, by one, we're gonna lose this
Yeah.
game. That's how
Yeah.
that's how close this game is. So
Yes.
once again, just pumped, just feeling it out of all the different holes, right? All of the different orifices in my body are tingling and ready because even when we won the Super Bowl that year, right? I'm fucking spoiled, right? I'm here. There's people
Yeah.
like Lions
Yeah.
fans that haven't felt a win in 29, and I'm like, yeah, even when we won the Super Bowl, I didn't think we were this good. But legitimately, that year, it was a pleasant surprise in some ways, despite us being exactly where we're supposed to. This one, like you said, feels like it's by design, right? It feels like this is, if this doesn't end up our year, then we're going to regret not only this year, but we might not have a future because of this year not working out. Like it's that kind of a serious game, which is why I said this is my Super Bowl. I'm going to shut the fuck up, Derrick, because I'll go all
Nah,
day.
nah, go
But
for
I
it,
just got
bro.
to prove to you the kind of co-host I am, right? Because you
Yeah.
said I'm not gonna rub it in your face, and I love you for that, brother. It means a lot. But hey, I didn't even talk about your game I just skipped right
Oh
over it.
no.
So we can quickly do this
Yeah.
before we move on to the next one. I just gotta say, I remember you saying, "Hey, actually, I hope we lose so that we're forced to figure these things out. We're forced to look in the mirror." And honestly, even when you said that, then I'm like, "This dude's fucking crazy. Like, there's no way that that's the scenario we're gonna end up seeing." The
Yeah.
Eagles should be winning this year, and then of course, unfortunately, things went the way that they went. I'm not trying to pile on anymore. It's clear that
Nah, go.
Jalen Hurts. It's clear that Jalen Hurts is not right, and then also with the departure of a lot of different people and schemes, there's just a lot that this team needs to get on the same page about again. And I'm not doubting you guys' ability to do that. But I gotta be honest, man. This one kind of hurt for me, for you. Like the once again, just because of the aspect of the hope, right? Nothing hurts more than hope in any sport. And the fact that
Yeah.
we both confidently were coming into the year saying, hey, man, we might get our OTS Bowl in the Super Bowl. We might get our Ravens Eagles matchup. And it turned out the way it did. Just hate to say it, got to sting even more, man. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your team, brother. I'm sorry you guys lost Kelsey to retirement. Um, won't be surprised if that changes in a couple weeks. Just saying. But
Hey,
I'll turn it over, brother. How are you feeling? How's the morale in Georgia right now and moving forward as far as what you're looking forward to from this team?
bro, I'm happy. I'm happy because I don't have to watch that ineptitude
Mm.
anymore. I don't have to watch the 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 low no I'll put it like this, no effort. That's the one thing that I didn't like about this team over the last 8 weeks. No, to be honest, 9 weeks. It was like there were you see where there was just no effort. When you don't tackle, that's not a scheme issue. That's not a personnel issue. That's an effort issue, and it's an effort issue from specific personnel that will not go out and tackle Bradbury. I feel like Bradbury is this year's Nelson Aguilar.
Such a strange comparison, but I love it.
I, I
Go.
I feel like he's this year's Aguilar because it's like you see the talent is there, and it's just why can't you just stretch out? Just like not even it's not even like he's not in the right spot. He's in the right spot. He just would not tackle. I did not understand it. So to be
Yeah.
honest, bro, don't feel bad for me. I'm excited. You know why? Because we are now going to be able to move forward and figure these things out. I'm a huge proponent of moving on from Sirianni, right? I don't think that's happening. I feel like Sirianni's coming back. They have not announced anything yet, and I think the longer it takes, the more probable he's going to be staying. So if that's the case, you need to go out and revamp your whole coaching staff. You need a new coordinator on offense. You need a new coordinator on defense. And honestly, you need to go out and get Eric Bieniemy. I am sick and tired of not having the motion on that offense. Why is it we're just
Too
standing
many
there?
weapons. Too many
Too
weapons.
many weapons, and you're not even trying to help those weapons out.
Yeah.
What sense does it make to sit here and have a Lamborghini, you have an Aston Martin, you have a private jet, right? And you're not fueling them up. You
Nah, bro,
don't
we
you don't
taking a
put
bus.
you
We
don't
taking a
you
bus.
don't you don't
Insurance
put
is
them in a
high.
hangar. You don't put them in a garage. You let them sit out there and get messed up. You let the birds crap all over them.
Hmm. So well said, but dude, I can't figure that out. Like I can't wrap my head around it because I don't know what it is. It just felt so linear. Like it felt like we were watching like and now hear me out when I say this because you can probably be like, what
Yeah,
the fuck? But it felt like I was watching like the fucking Peyton Manning Denver Broncos and not in the Super Bowl year. Like
the
the
later
why
years.
the fuck why the fuck are we doing this? Like why is
Yeah,
everything it like it felt like you were watching a Madden playbook. Like and not
bro.
a Streets 2 playbook, a Madden
No,
playbook. Like yeah.
it. I said the exact same thing. It feels as if Sirianni and Brian Johnson and Matt Patricia were playing Madden and not even trying.
Right? Just
It,
we passing
just
and
just
just
just pressing
scrolling.
buttons. We're just pressing buttons. Like whatever. Like we're gonna pass when we don't need to pass.
Hmm.
They opened the game up. That opening drive, they ran the ball twice in a row with DeAndre Swift. What happened after that? You forgot how to run the ball?
Gone.
And Sirianni has talked about this. He's come out and said, "Yeah, we're gonna run the ball more. Win,
Bro, my shit is
win
Rashad Penny. Where the fuck was Rashad Penny all year?
all year, all year."
Did he get a carry? Like, did you witness a carry? Because I didn't.
Toward the end of the season. What was that last game? The Giants. I think it was the Giants. He actually played because you know why? DeAndre Swift was sick.
So strange, bro.
So
So
I don't
strange.
know, man. I think it's very interesting to see what happened, what took place. But again, that downfall it's on Sirianni. I don't care what and the players came out. Like I love Jason Kelsey. He's going to be that type of guy where he backs his guys up, right? He's done that all his career. So I don't expect anything different from him. But Fletcher Cox almost made it seem like it was a ridiculous thing to say, oh, move on from Sirianni. No, no, it's a fair point. I don't know what Fletch was on, but I don't see the reason to back him like that. I mean I get it. That's your guy. He's a head coach right now, right? But you know what this team needs? This team needs maturity. This team needs someone that matches Jalen Hurts' vibe, right? This team needs a level of discipline because they have the personnel. It's not the personnel, right? Yeah, you can move on from a certain key guys like Bradbury and Maddox, but for to be
Shit.
honest, they have all the players there. They have them
I just
there.
had a
This is
revelation, bro. Between what you said, all the different points, discipline. You know what this team needs? Eli Apple.
I swear to God.
I knew that one was gonna get off.
I,
God damn it. I knew it.
I, I swear on everything. They better not try it. You know what, Matt?
Hey, he might
They
tackle.
need that. They need Bill Belichick.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
They
whoa,
need
whoa. That's a
they
lie.
need Bill
That's a
Belichick.
lie. I don't believe this
No,
coming
no,
out of you. Are you
no,
serious? You would want
no. I
this.
I would want Bill Belichick. You know
Whoa,
why? You know why?
whoa. That'll be the best team
Because
he's ever coached.
it would be, but it would also be the level of maturity that's needed from a head coach. I'm not talking about the team. I'm talking about the coach. And Sirianni is actually a good coach. Let's not get this twisted. I'm not gonna sit here and denigrate what he's done over the last 3 years, 3, 4 years. But at the same time, you're not like on the level you need to be. When your quarterback is telling you to calm down and relax, that's an issue. That's a maturity issue. Okay. So give me Bill Belichick. I have a very short list of head coaches I would want to replace Sirianni as Bill Belichick. I would take Bieniemy.
You know who
I
I'm
would take
calling if I'm
Hardball.
the Eagles too? Oh yeah, you see? You're a
I would take
fucking goat,
Hardball.
man. You're the goat.
I you know who I would put in that front office? Lewis Riddick.
Ooh, I like that a lot. That's a great
Yeah,
shout. Deep shout.
yeah, yeah. I'm so serious about this team, bro. Like it's not like I'm not a fan of this team anymore. I am. But when you have the ability, you're right there at the doorstep. They were 3 points away from winning the Super Bowl last year. This is not like we're talking about the
They're 10
Cowboys.
and 1.
This is
This
not like we're
was
and but the 10 even the 10-1 wasn't the real 10-1 to be completely honest. Like there were games they should have lost that they were able to pick up on. I'm completely
speaks
honest
to
about
the
that.
talent and speaks to the
It
drive
speaks to
early on.
who
But
yeah, it speaks to who was there. So go
do you
with
think there
what
was a
makes you
fatigue there?
you.
Let me ask you this
No.
real quick before we move on, because I think personally, as someone that early on in the year, right, we lost to the Colts. We lost
Mhm.
to a couple of different teams along the way that we're like, well, huh? Why did we lose to that team? And
Mhm.
it always surrounded around two things. Once again, I mentioned it earlier, but the turnover battle, A, and B, most importantly, was kind of felt like, okay, we lost this one, but
Yeah.
this was an opportunity to get right. I felt like
Yeah.
going 10 and 1, going through all that, it kind of felt like once you guys lost, it was like, okay, well, we're not the champs, so we need to get back on it. And the lessons were never learned. And from there, it just kind of spiraled out. Am I on to something here?
I, I'm not saying you're not. I don't agree with it
Mm-hmm.
because it was like it was tangible. There were things that they could have fixed early on this year that they just Sirianni could have fixed early on this year that he absolutely refused. The strength of this team is the line, offensively and defensively. That's where you hang your hat on, right? Why are you not running the ball? You
It's
have a
been weeks. It's
thousand
not just
yard.
the playoffs. It's
It's
been
not.
weeks.
It's been weeks. You have a 1,000 yard running back right there at your disposal. And to be honest, how he got to 1,000 yards not being featured in this offense
Offense
is
at
beyond me.
all. Yeah.
It's beyond me. I don't know how he did it, to be completely honest. So yeah, this is an issue that he could have fixed early on that he just did not do. Because to be honest, look, DeAndre Swift was not the number one early in the season. People don't even think about that. It was Kenneth Gainwell
My guy came out
until
huge
he
first
got
couple
injured.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, until he got injured. That's when they went ahead
But
and went
I
with.
thought wasn't he also injured as well? Wasn't Swift also injured those first couple games, which caused that sort of pecking order shift? Or am I imagining that?
Mm, nah, he was good.
I remember thinking that. Maybe that's why I kind of gaslit myself into thinking because I was like, why the fuck aren't they featuring him more? I remember
It
asking
made
that.
no sense because I was wondering the same thing. Why is he not? Why are they not featuring him like that? They just they went with Gainwell.
Mm. And if you can do that with your second string fucking RB, why don't you just run the ball? God damn it. Yeah.
That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. So go get me a Bill Belichick hardball BNME.
Damn, I wasn't ready
Go
for the
go get
Belichick drop,
someone.
bro. That's
Go
like
get
I'm
someone.
trying to think. That's like me asking for OKC to get LeBron. Like it
I
kind of
know
feels just against our nature.
it
But
feels weird. It feels
yeah,
extremely weird. But at this point, I'm okay with it.
honestly, that might be the only landing spot I'll be happy with because hey, I've been through a lot of pain in my short time as a Ravens fan because of the Patriots, like
Right.
many other like many other people. So
Yeah.
hey, I would root for him. Do you really think that's a possibility? Like, is there? Do you think
No.
there's legs there? Because I honestly
No.
feel like that is the best team he can coach. Like,
It
period.
makes the
So
most
why would he
sense.
not try to?
It makes the most sense to me, but I think they might try and stick it out with Sirianni. Now, if I'm wrong that they're gonna move on with Sirianni, I'm wrong. Like if they're gonna actually fire him, I would have thought it would have happened by now. This is 5:14 Friday. 5:14 in the evening on a Friday.
Mhm.
We lost Sunday. That's almost a week. If he was gonna be fired, he would have been fired already.
Who knows? Who knows? I think
Hey
there's
man,
still some
I'm look,
dominoes that are there to fall, but who knows?
please God, please, please. We could get to the Super. If you're talking about a team that's ready for the Super Bowl right now, right? You have the front office that you can that you know Belichick would respect. They have the roster. It makes the
Yeah,
most sense.
it does.
It makes the most sense. Atlanta to me doesn't make sense
At all.
unless Atlanta is going to actually go out and ball out this offseason.
Hey, Atlanta is an attractive option. Don't get me wrong.
No,
Out of all
Atlanta's
different
attractive.
options,
Look, it's attractive.
Chargers look more attractive, and Eagles
They
look
do.
holy. Eagles is the 10 out of 10 that moved to your school in the middle of the school year, right? Like that
Yes.
that is the drop everything. I don't care. You've been in a relationship for 6 months. Go get her. That is the Eagles.
That's the Eagles. It makes the most sense. It makes the most sense. But
Hey, if it happens, bro, I just gotta say right now, if it happens, I'm taking full credit. Like at this point, I'll call fucking Howie. Hey, I know
I
you
know.
were watching, right? I know you were
Hey,
watching.
it makes the most sense.
Let's fucking do it. All right, before we move on, now I just want to ask you this because you got me excited. If Derrick has the keys, right? Full keys. We're going Derrick Roseman right now. What do we do here beyond addressing the head coach, right? Who's your guy? Obviously, you already told me Belichick. What do you do from there? What voids are we filling? Who are we going after? What is the off-season plan here?
Offensive coordinators. That's easy. That's easy. And I'm talking about the
And
coordinators
personnel
that
wise, there's no personnel wise angles you
okay,
want to go in free agency or
personnel.
anything.
Personnel, you move on from Bradbury, you move on from Avante Maddox. As much as I love Maddox, he's a great guy. He's every
Great guy, never met him.
right, but every season there's a major injury to this man, and it's someone we need, right? Like you need that safety position to be filled properly. He can't fill it because his availability is not there. So I would do everything in my power, to try and trade for Patrick Sertain.
Love me some
You
Pat Sertain.
allow, yeah,
Totally,
because
totally because his relationship with Brittany Renner, but we'll continue.
that's wow. I
Bro, I
didn't
will
know
sell
about
my
that.
soul, bro.
I
I
had
will
no clue
sell my
that was
soul. I will sell my soul. Where
I had
Charleston
no clue
White
that
at?
was a thing.
I'll call Charleston White right now. Yeah, Google it. But anyway, sorry, brother.
I yeah, I heard about it. I would trade for him. You allow Slay to stay there for another year to train up Eli Ricks and Kelly Ringo. You see what they do. I, but you do that and you see what you could do in the draft or in maybe another trade to fill that safety position. That secondary has to be addressed because it's not the defensive line. Even though I understand where people are coming from that that they were not what they were this year. They're still that team, right? That line is still that line. It's just I'm sorry, the coordinators did not put them in the right positions. We've seen this. We've seen this over and over again. So address that defense that secondary, and you see what you can do to make sure AJ Brown stays happy. There's nothing
Yeah.
else like. There are other ways you can improve, but to be honest, those are the top priority. That if those are addressed and those are fixed, everything else falls in line. I
And
like
bro, I just gotta
it's
say this too. I just gotta let this out because in the era of divas and players that are constantly upset, right? This would be his second situation where he's gotten very upset with. I just gotta say this right now. Um, with all due respect, obviously you never want to let a guy like AJ Brown go, but let's just make something really fucking clear here. Devontae Smith is that dude. So
bro.
AJ, listen, AJ, listen. I know you're upset. I know you're upset. You need to recognize what you have right now because having someone like that as your quote unquote number two and
Right.
bitching about getting the fucking ball when there's someone that good on the other side. Sir, you must not understand how good of a position you were in. Think back to when you were in Tennessee. Think back to when every time that ball left his hand, we knew where the fuck it was going. And I'll tell you right now, it was not going to Robert Woods, brother. It
No.
was not going in that direction. It was going straight to AJ Brown. So
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
cheer up a little bit because this is the best situation you probably could be in right now.
And to be
Sorry to
honest,
let that out, but
no, that's those are big facts. I think one of the things that you have to pay attention to as well, they both got 1,000 yards this year. They both got 1,000 yards. So it's not like he ain't getting the ball.
and Swift got it, bro. Is
That's
this
my
the best
point.
bad year ever? Is this the best terrible year ever,
That's my point. It's not the personnel.
bro?
They're
This just
obviously
gave
doing
me.
and Jalen Hurts is hurt. That's another thing. He is hurt. He didn't want to talk about it, but there was obviously a
He's the
knee
goat
issue.
once again.
There's a yeah.
Greatest living American.
I told you last week if they lose this game, it's not because of him. There's an obvious mobility issue there, and it's with the knees. I he hurt his knee. He hurt his knee during the season. Didn't want to talk about it. AJ Brown alluded to it. I think Dallas Goddard alluded to it. Um, but everybody respected him because he was still going out there and balling. So I'm not. I have no issues with him. No issues. It's coaching.
Hmm.
It's coaching.
Hey,
The
bro,
scheme does not work.
when you started talking, I was like, how the fuck is this man still excited about this team? And I fully get it now. I
Yeah.
have eyes wide shut. I understand. I
Yeah.
understand. You guys are in an amazing position, and I'm sure still are going to be the envy of the league. I think obviously this is a tough pill to swallow because of once again the expectations and also just
Mm-hmm.
talk around the league. Right. This has been. I mean, I think we should have known something was up when Jason said "fuck it" when Travis was on that choo choo bit, and he just shut down, bro. He said, I'm not even gonna do the rest of the show, bro. Fuck you." And
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
should have felt something in the air. But
Yeah.
your optimism is well placed. You guys are fucking dogs, and with the right guys at the helm, we're gonna figure things out. But god damn it, we went like 25 minutes on the Eagles. Next up,
So sorry.
no, I love it. I started it and I made sure I've squeezed every drop out of that one, but fucking
Yes, sir.
phenomenal. Next up, our second matchup of this divisional round, some a round we've alluded to many times, but now we get to fucking dig into it. We've got the Packers on the road going up against the 49ers Saturday, 8:15 p.m. prime time, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um, I forced you to go first last time. I'll take the lead on this one. I'm not gonna lie here. I think there is a world, right, where we
Mm,
see the Niners shit the bed here and the Packers win,
yeah.
and the story is about how awesome the Packers could be. Um,
Yeah.
I could see that happening. I think it'll be even more shocking. I mean, obviously, because we picked it, but way more shocking than Dallas losing the way they did. Um, I think ultimately this team just has way too many weapons and has a poised quarterback ready to do what needs to be done in Brock Purdy. I firmly believe in that, regardless of if that makes many people roll their eyes. I'm confident in this 49ers team to go out there off of a bye week to get this dub. But once again, the same fucking playbook is already laid out. Don't let
Yes.
this team punch you in the mouth because if they do, you can have some issues and you may not be alive to speak about it next week. But most importantly, I just feel like skill for skill, I think the Niners have a better team on all three phases of the ball. And I think ultimately it's going to be very hard for the Packers to overcome that. Who knows? Maybe a little LaFleur thin stash shows up to
Amen.
brighten up the day a little better. But I'm going with the Niners here. How you feeling, Derek?
I'm going the Niners as well, but just like you, I can definitely see a possibility where they lose this game. Um, you're able to go into Dallas and do that. That's not a fluke win.
Yep.
That's not fluky.
regardless of if
that's
the fucking Cowboys are
right.
suicidal choke artists. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Because it's not as if you're not in Dallas, right? So I would venture to say that the home field advantage in that matchup was bigger than this one. I would be willing to bet that for sure because I think that there's something different about those Dallas fans versus the 49ers fans.
I agree.
So I'm not gonna. I don't think that the Packers are actually afraid. I think they could actually go in there and snatch this game. It's not going to be the same beatdown. It'll probably be a close game, but I think they could actually pull it off. I'm going to Niners as well, but I'm not confident because
Yeah.
I can see this taking place where they lose this game. Like it's not as if we haven't seen the Niners
I
uh,
feel like it'll have to take
fall
an injury.
off.
It'll have to take an
I don't
injury,
know. I
like the
don't.
Eagles game, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think we could actually see this be where it doesn't need to be an injury for them to win.
Mm.
Because guess what? You talking about the injury last year with in the NFC Championship, right? I If Purdy had stayed in the game, they were still losing that game because of how the momentum that the Eagles had at that time. There is a
But
momentum that
once
the
that
Packers
injury
have.
happened, it was over, right? There was
Oh, it
no
was it was
question.
definitely over. It was definitely
Yeah,
over because they didn't have anybody to throw the ball. Actually, they did, and then the backup got taken out. But
yeah. Changed
there's a
the
there was
rules
a
for that fucking team, if you remember. But
it did. I think there's a momentum that they had going into that game that it was just unstoppable. I think that same momentum is following the Packers right now. I would
uh,
not be shocked if they won this game,
you sure you
but
want
I'm
to
definitely
change your
taking
pick? It's fuck.
no.
I'm ready to run through a wall right now, Derek.
I'm taking the Niners. I'm taking the Niners just because you're the number one seed. You better win that game.
Yeah.
You better win that game. And Debo, you better show up
Yup.
because we've seen games where he has not shown up. Let's just be honest. It's not like it's not happened before.
Because Ayuk is a dog, man, and people are
He
so
is.
so sleepy on how good Ayuk is because
Yes.
Debo is the one that kind of gets the shine here because he is the sort of all tool player.
Right.
Debo's a problem, but fucking Ayuk is, in my opinion, the real alpha on that receiver
Yes.
team. Call me crazy.
No, no, no. I agree with that. I agree with that. I think it's something that they should take into account next season.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, yeah, you better show up. You better show all that talk. You better show up. Back it
Whew.
up. That's all I'm saying. Back it up.
Yeah, man.
Pause.
God damn, you got me fucking pumped, man. Even I thought there was no way, like, man, this kind of felt worse than Bucks Lions for me. Like I mean Bucks yeah, Bucks Lions. Felt worse than Buck Lions for me where I'm like, yeah, man, team fucking sucks. It's not happening for me. You got me a little shaky here, but once again, that's why they pay us the big bucks, brother. That's why we're here.
Hey,
Cuz we see the full picture, god damn it.
yes,
But why
sir.
don't we get right into it? Sunday, 3 o'clock, Bucks Lions.
Yeah.
I'll let you take the lead on this one. Shock me because, god damn it, we made a bet years ago, okay? And I think there is some fucking cosmic karma in the fact that not only did he win the fucking playoff game, but it was against your Eagles. Damn it. So
That was
Baker to
very
Baker
karmic.
to the moon. God damn it.
That was karma because I was sitting there thinking about that during that game. I was like, God, dog, man, this would be against the Eagles, man. That would happen. Honestly, you're going into Detroit. You're going into Detroit. I I I don't know. This is one of those games I just don't know because I can see both teams winning. I
Same.
can see it, but I think the NFL script writers have it for us, bro. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Ooh,
I think
I
I
like
think
it.
they wrote it in for. I think they wrote it in for the Lions to win this game. I think we might see for the first time they've been out of the playoffs this long, and as soon as they get in, you see them roaring in there, man. I think they can win this matchup. I'm gonna go the Lions. There's a momentum with them as well. The Buccaneers won that game last week for sure, but let's not act as if they won it off the strength of just their team. They won it because we didn't show up. If that
Damn.
Eagles team decided to actually go to Tampa and decide, hey, let's suit up, and hey, let's actually play the game, the Buccaneers are not winning that game.
But that's what they did, bro. Like that
No, they
that's
didn't.
exactly what they
No, they did
did,
not.
bro.
They did not. They did not. They suited up. They got on the field.
But they wasn't there.
Nah. Devontae Smith was, but I don't know. I don't know. And no one else decided to show up in that game. So yeah, man, I'm taking the Lions on this one. I have more faith in them. I'll put it like that. There's something about that defense because we know the offense is going to be. We know what they are,
Mhm.
but it's something about that defense, man, and it's just this identity that the Lions have where like Dan Campbell came in when he got hired, he talked about it. Like we want to bite your kneecaps off, and we want to we want to just play this gritty game, and that's the identity of this team. They are a gritty team. I'm
Whew,
telling you, man. There's something there. There's something there.
man. I'm rooting for the Lions. I just got to say that
Me
off the
too.
top. I
Yeah.
think I'm a fan
Yeah.
of what they have going on and what they've been able to build. And we mentioned it before they even made the playoffs, right? This team
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
on to something. And once again, we're
Yeah.
just fucking ahead of it, man. I
I know.
love what we got going on here at
Hey.
OTS because it just keeps getting better. Every year we just get to prove everyone right. But as far as this matchup goes, I'm very close to picking the Bucks here. I think this is a show me game for the Lions in the same way that it was
Yes.
for my Ravens. I think you look on paper and they beat a better Rams team last week, but here's the key
Yeah.
differential in my opinion. I think when it comes down to the defensive front, I think the Bucks give them a more unique challenge than the Rams did on defense. Hear me out.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Obviously, the D line, the front end of that Tampa defense is just fucking phenomenal, right? They get the pressure on guys early and often, and their presence, right? You feel them throughout the game. But I think specifically the matchup in the trenches with the dual RB threat, I think they can take away a lot of those plays early on. And if you're taking away the offensive identity in that way, now you're forcing them to be a little bit one dimensional and throw a little bit more. And that's going to cause some problems for the Lions, man. I think you would think, right, that they should be able to contain this offense. They were able to contain the Rams just enough to get out of there. Um, I think this is the Baker game, right? This is the S on my chest. I'm ready to save him. He's already joined the club as far as being one of very few players who have won Super Bowl, sorry, who have won playoff games with different teams. Um,
Yes.
I think if he's able to really go out there like we saw against the Saints and just slang it and have a connection with Mike Evans, get little dink and dimes to one Rashad White, and just keep things going right throughout the whole night.
Hmm.
I really do think they have a chance in their life here. Unfortunately, though, I'm going to be picking the Lions here. I'm a fan once again of everything they've got going on. Whitest pass rush in the league. You love to see it. Aiden Hutchinson just looking like Waluigi and Mario Party 4 are just fucking like these are his legs. This isn't even the arms. These are the fucking legs, brother. And I just love
Yeah.
everything about it. I love everything about this Lions team, and it's never gonna be a blowout, right? Like I don't think
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
win this game
Yeah.
by 40. I think this is gonna be another close game. But I think ultimately they got that thing, man. I'm going with the Lions. Next up,
Sure.
God damn it, I'm having fun, and I don't want this shit to end right now. But we got our last game of the slate. What is America's game, right? The game that everyone's looking forward to. Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, reincarnated within two different white suns. We
Yeah.
have, hey, but Mahomes is half black. I'm sorry, guys. We have the Chiefs on the road for the first time going up against the Buffalo Billiards. Matt, I know you're smiling out there somewhere because John is happy, not because you're happy. But shout out to the Bills for making it this far. I'm a big fan of what they've been able to do to turn around their season, man. I think The
Yes.
fact that they're in this position at all is really nothing short of phenomenal. And I think this new look offense for the Bills is really going to be able to get the job done against the Chiefs. I think in
Yeah.
the past, being so reliant on the pass has come to bite them before, regardless of if you want to look at it that way or not, right? 12 seconds. There's a lot of different ways we could talk about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think ultimately not having a consistent run game to fall back on was the issue before. It
Yeah.
just it just kind of freaks me out because the same time you got one, they got one too. And it's like,
Hey,
damn.
right?
And what makes, once again, we talked about this with the Chiefs earlier, what makes the Chiefs special now is that they threw the fire, and no disrespect, I just got to say it again, unlike your Eagles, were able to learn from their mistakes and correct them, not in a way of saying, okay, now we're going to go still ball out as if we have Tyreek Hill. No, they figured out the best way to win with the team they have. And I think ultimately that's what makes the difference here. I'm picking the Chiefs on the road, and I know you're probably not surprised by
Wow.
that because I am
Wow.
I
I
am
did
the
not think that.
Mahomes. I am the Mahomes motherfucking homer here. I think ultimately
Yeah.
it comes down to the pieces that they're missing on defense. I think everything else, narrative wise, situation wise, this is their game to win. But I think ultimately, because the Chiefs showed me so much last week, on top of the fact they still got young Kermit the Frog in the flesh, I'm going with the Chiefs.
You gotta love it, man. I think um I think this is gonna be a close one, to be completely honest. I think because of the fact that the Bills were able to find that balance with the run and passing game, I think that's what's going to keep them in this. Because yeah, they do have some injuries on that defense, but I think that they're going to be okay. I think they'll be all right with this one. Um, I'm going to go with the Bills. I think this is the time that the Bills actually take that next step and um, kill this demon, right? Like you've not been able to beat the Chiefs when it matters. And I think that this is the time that they do it. Now, the record is against me on this one. The Chiefs have beaten them a ton of times.
In the
Especially when
playoffs
they get to this
specifically.
point in the
Yeah.
specifically in the playoffs. But when they get to this point, it does not bode well for me in this one. They usually always win. So I'm gonna go ahead and go against that. Um, I'm gonna go against that, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the Bills on this one. I think it's very possible that the Bills actually take that step. I think it's just again they were not able to get that run game in, and I'm happy for them because this is what I was hoping to see with the Bills for the last 3 years, right? And I think the only part of it about it that sucks is that Hines is not available because
Mm-hmm.
Hines and Cook would have been a very nice duo to see. I would I wanted to see that, and I played with it that duo on Madden on Madden.
Oh, okay, okay. That makes a lot more sense. Very reminiscent, hear me out here, of the Jonathan Taylor Zach Moss backfield, right? Where you got two
Yes,
guys kind of do different things, but can really deliver for you. Yeah, I think that'll be
yeah,
interesting to see once he comes back. But
yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna take them into this one. I think it's gonna be a close game for sure
mhm.
because you can never like it's not gonna be a it's gonna be a long day for that defensive line for sure. But I think at the end of the day they'll be able to pull this off and get this win. I want to see them. I want to see them. I want to see the Bills versus the Ravens. Let's put it like that. I want to see that in the AFC Championship.
That'll be fun. We'd have to get all the
Yeah,
boys on at that point.
we
We just
have
got to
to.
get
All the
everyone on.
Torontos need to be back. Yeah,
All
they
of them
need to be
at the same
back.
time. Just
Yeah,
all five of
yeah,
us, just fucking losing
yes,
our shit. I'm gonna
yes,
be real with you though. I think another big part of this for me is I think there's three elite defensive. What the fuck am I saying? I think there are three elite defenses left. Look at that.
yes.
This man speaks English still. Can you guess what I think those three teams are?
Three teams. I definitely gonna say the Ravens, the Chiefs, and I think you're going to say the Texans.
How dare you? The fucking 49ers, brother. Come on.
The Niners.
How can
Okay.
we act
All
like it?
right. All
How
right.
can we act
I
like
was
the
trying.
Niners are gone,
So
brother?
here's the thing. I was trying to think of an X factor because I was thinking that's where you were gonna go with this one because you always pull this U-turn on me. Like I think we're going one direction and then you just somehow, some way, you got to hook the turn. So I was trying to figure out how where that was gonna go. So I was thinking Texans with this one, but
We
yeah, of
keep them on
course,
our toes. Look, I got them
yeah,
fucking trying to read the plays within the plays. Look at this. I love it. I love the dynamic we've got here at OTS. But
yes, sir.
I think that's what makes the difference here. Obviously, with the pieces missing on their own defense, and then coming up
Mm,
against such an elite defense, regardless of them being on the road, I just think they're going to show up like they did last week. Shout out to that clip. I don't know if you saw that Tyreek Hill posted. I love him just being a good sport about it, right? Where everyone's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
hyping up Snead for jamming him at the line beautifully, by the way. And he goes, "He jammed my ass right to Cancun, boy." And it's a fact. Like there's nothing
Yes,
wrong with that. I love that you can laugh at yourself because we do it all the time on this show. But yeah, man,
yes.
I think elite defense is what wins you games, man. And there's just something about Mahomes, man. I can't ever overlook this man, bro. This is a
I
modern
know,
day. This is our Tom Brady, brother. This is
I
our
know.
Tom Brady.
Yes, it is. It
But
is. And I would go with the Chiefs on this one, but it's just something that I feel
I like it. There's
about the
something in the
Bills.
air.
I
Fake
gotta do it.
slides, right? We're gonna pull
Yeah.
out all the stops, baby. That's
Yeah.
such a stupid
Yeah.
argument too, by the way. He clearly just has a
It's
that was
not
one
the
of my
first.
favorite. Listen, that was one of my favorite moves back in the day playing ball on the regular
Yeah.
because,
I was
you know
about
what I'm
to say
saying? Little hezzy,
he's
you know.
he's not the first QB to do that. I'm trying to figure out why everybody is so enamored with it as if this is something we've never seen before. We've seen it before. You know what I'm saying? It's not a new thing. Whatever.
This dude's vernacular is just fucking amazing, bro. This man just hit me with a fucking enamored on the broadcast. Holy shit.
Hey,
Couldn't agree
it's
with you more.
it's it's the butterscotch. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, it is. Hard as a rock. We got the butterscotch, baby. This has been a fucking blast, brother. I just gotta say, nothing's better than playoff football.
Always, man.
And I think
Yes, sir.
this episode certainly brought the best out of us. And
Oh
if you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
agree, make sure that you're following the brand OTS Media Co. on all social media platforms. God damn it, because we're gonna keep bringing you this amazing content. But Derrick, why don't you take us home, man? Why don't you let the people know for one final time where they could find your musings?
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Well, you can follow
you thought I
me.
had something else
I
there.
thought you had something else. Yeah, yeah.
I thought I did too. It's all good.
Excuse me. Well, you can follow me at Derrick_OTS. That's DERRICK, the black way to spell it. And like Chris said, please follow the brand, all social media platforms, OTS Media Co., OTS Media on YouTube. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be ready for what's to come. Pause.
Hey, I'm glad you said it because I ain't even get the chance to say it. But all I gotta say is go out there, seize this fucking weekend like it's your hoe, right? Like you're gonna make this weekend fold underneath the pressure the same
Like the
way
Cowboys.
The same way Sean Strickland will this Saturday. And until we
Oh,
get that blessing,
yes.
I will not be able to sleep. So I can't wait to see that. But most importantly, let's fucking go Ravens. I don't care what this man says.
Hey.
This dude's a fucking Ravens fan now. I don't care. I don't care about all this other Bill shit, all this Eagles stuff. This man and this man, Ravens fucking flock. We'll see you guys next week.